Today on Uncommonly Good MTG, we're playing an Azorius flying deck. Yeah, it's essentially flying tribal. And because every creature you have in here has flying except for Enduring Curiosity. But Enduring Curiosity, you know, whether it's a creature, whether it's enchantment, it still does what it does all the time. There's tons of value, loads of tricks. This deck is tons of fun. That sounds good to you, then stay tuned to find out more. Hello and welcome to uncommonlygoodmtg.com. I'm your host, a man who has more brains than Mojo Jojo, Dr. You can't suck it. Yes, thank you. Filmed for a live studio audience. Thank you so much. You can't suck it. Word to your mama. So I'm broadcasting to you today from my secret underground headquarters, and I'm bringing to you a deck I found over on the Aether Hub, posted by the MTGA-Assistant-Meta, and they called it Azorius. The real deal is that when Foundation came out, I think one of the first things I played against was a deck with Empyrean Eagle in it. And I just thought, ooh, I remember really enjoying good flying tribal decks where all the creatures with flying get +1/+1. I totally want to play that. Well, I mean, the set's been out now for, I don't know what it's been, like a month and a half, 2 months. I'm finally getting around to trying it out again. So I went looking for decks with Empyrean Eagle, and this is what I found. And then I played it a little bit and said, nah, I don't really care. I'm going to go put together my own deck that has Empyrean Eagle into it. And I did that, and it sucked. So then I came back to this deck, and you know what? It was so much better the second time I played it because I think I'm ready to play it this time. So there we go. This deck is from the Assistant-Meta. Supposedly it has a 53% win rate, but I'm betting we're going to do better than that. All right, so let's go out and see what we can do. Let's take a look at the cards in this deck. We'll talk a little bit of how it should work, and then we're going to go ahead and crush some hopes and dreams. What do we got? We got Flying Lifelink, and then we've got... Oh, this is my other deck had more Flying Lifelink. All right, let's just go to it. Card draw. Counterspell and putting out a 2/2 guy with flying. This guy's got flying and flash and can draw a card. You got some counterspell in here. Maybe use some card draw if you really wanted to. Exile stuff, a counterspell, and if you got a bird out, which you probably will, then, because I got a bird too. Yep, there's lots of birds in here. Then they have to pay 4 to override the counterspell with your little, like, rainbow hummingbird there. This guy can do a little card draw. He flashes in for a 2/1 with flying. This guy gives one of your creatures hexproof. So kind of a countery spell kind of thing, but of 2/1 with flying. We've got this guy, which it exiles a target spell. It becomes plotted, and it'll cost them 2 to play it from exile. Well, I guess whatever the plotted means for that. But anyway, so it's okay. I used to really hate this one, but with this deck, it actually works pretty darn good. Empyrean Eagle gives all your flying guys +1/+1. It's not legendary. You can put out multiples. We only got 2 in here. And my other deck I was playing, I had 4. I thought this guy should be totally hammered up on. And then we got Enduring Curiosity, which is a cat, not a bird, and it doesn't have flying. It does have flash, so it means you could come in and totally chew things up like a cat would. A 2-tailed cat at that. But the big deal is that whenever a creature you control deals common damage to a player, you draw a card. If this thing dies, it just comes back in enchantment, and you still have that ability. So with this guy out, you are going to draw cards like a crazy man. All right, we got a bunch of dual lands and regular lands. So that's pretty much it. What are we going to do? We're going to put out dudes early that are going to fly and do a little tiny bit of damage. We're going to have a little bit of lifelink built in there. And then we are going to control the board as much as we possibly can by using our exiles or our counterspells to keep them from doing things we don't particularly care for them to do. We're going to keep throwing out our guys, hopefully with flash, so that way we don't have to worry about them getting nailed the last second. And then eventually start dropping down the Enduring Curiosity so we start pulling cards like crazy. With that, we should be able to start slamming down more dudes faster than our opponents can deal with it, and we just fly over the top and do all the damage to them. All right, so that's it. Before we go out and do our damage, let's do as we do every night. Let's say our prayers and talk about what is best in life. Hands together. Dear Black Queen Shuldred, who dwells within the dark chambers of my heart, please hear my prayers and grant your blessings as we attempt to crush our enemies, see them driven before us, and to hear the lamentations of the women. All right, put against HiddenNinja. HiddenNinja. So technically I only have white cards since I put this white out. So this would only be white as well. Guess I could have done it and just put the white out on the next turn. Let's draw some cards. Leave my poor hawk alone. He's doing nothing but getting me life and cards. That's all, man. All right, I can Dazzling Denial. Let's put out the Sailor. You still counterspell some stuff. I like it better when it makes that noise. All right, so I got to worry about him trying to come after me. I'm going to do it. I'm going to put this guy out. All right, we got the Interrupters going to help. We got a lot of good stuff. I'm hoping that he's more wanting to grow right now than try to take me out. Good. Because I can keep him from doing stuff from this point forward, we'll be in a great position. I drew a card. Let's put out the Spectral Sailor. And we're good. You can hold on to that for later, please. That would be great. All right, recognize the perilous situation you're in. You got 0 mana. You could hit me for 5 potentially. I can block one of them. So unless you put another mana out right now. Yep, there you go. Your game is over. Victory! Rank up. All right, playing against BasedFaceKilla. Got 3s here, huh? All right, there's a Spectral Sailor. Very nice. That cost me 2 to counterspell stuff. You can flash out the Interrupter on this next turn. Or we can just keep our guy alive. We have to do that to keep a 1/1 alive. That's just so crazy about the whole situation. Like, why would he bother? Yoink. All right, if I put down Draining Curiosity, I can actually start gaining some cards. So let's just do it. Of course, I am completely out of tricks at this moment. That's not cool. I do got enough muscle out. I can stand back and start interrupting things. Well, I don't have the muscle anymore. It was cool for a second. I've only got 4. Let's just beat him in the head with what we got. Keep our guy protected. Hexproof. I need... Hexproof is great, right? I can keep my guy alive with Hexproof. He already has Ward. That's not going to help, so... What can I do? Hexproof will... That sacrifice is not going to help. Let's go for the... Let's go for... No, cancel. We'll go for this. All right, there we go. We got some muscle out. And we have the ability to keep a dude alive. See, forcing me to sacrifice is a thing. Who would I sacrifice in this situation? It's going to be the Interrupter, apparently. All right, he's got 2 mana. You can still put out Liliana if you want. And we win! Suck it, Suckerfish. Suck it. All right, playing against Gammlerleo. Gotta feed the fish. What you gotta do. All right, 2. Let's let this guy do what he needs to do. Everybody else has flash. That's good. Okay, we can flash out with the Escort in a little bit. We'll see what he tries to do to me. Not going to do anything. All right, let's go draw some cards, as one does. 1, 2, 3. I don't have any countering abilities left open at the moment. I'm going to push this guy over here just to remind me that I could do that. Don't really need to draw any more cards. A combat research isn't necessary. He's got 2 bunnies. I get to draw a card. Oh, cool. You can, yeah, chump, man. Go right ahead. I just got to hold back with my stuff. All right, what do I got? I got 3 mana. So we can use this. That's probably the best card for whatever he's trying to counter. Whatever he does here, we can just counter it. He doesn't have enough mana to do anything effective. Ooh, he's got all the mana in the world now. Oh my god. Look out, it's Scorpion. No, 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 no. And we win. He got super pissed. Victory. Our playing against Lauren Z068. Base Faerie Mastermind into a combat research. Turn off the dragon. We'll let it go. I can get the Faerie Mastermind out next turn. That'll be fine. That's always scares the hell out of people whenever you play things with flash. I draw a card. Nice. All right, we got Dazzling Denial. Should help us out. Can't believe I'm playing counter spells. No, Bristly Bill. I deny you. Yeah, sure, let's do it. We got nothing else to do this turn. Got a lot of good flying, guys. What is that we're packing here? 4, 7. We can throw out the Enduring Curiosity on next turn, get some more card draw. This guy needs to get a creature out, but that's going to cost him all his mana to do it. They won't be able to do anything else. Because he wants to start slamming my guys with his guys. I should probably use the interrupters, but I should probably do. Yeah, we're fine. And we're able to get the Sailor out. Let's draw that card. All right, fine. So we'll do this, and that'll leave us with able to do the interrupter. In the turn, we have lethal showing right now. And if he tries to do something, we'll just bounce it back. Green's always known for doing big time green. It's going to cost him a lot of mana. He's only got 1 chance to do something. He doesn't know I can essentially delay it. He's trying to go for the shot, though. Hopefully it's something expensive. I'd really like to just prevent things from happening. I have to pick and choose my battles right here. This is where it all comes down. It's all about this. All right, have a good time. And we took it right in the face, but boom, boom goes the room. Boom, boom! All right, playing against Vesuvian Funkflexor. I'm glad I get to go first. I always like that. All right, 2. Everybody else is a full-on flasher, so we'll just wait on that. Tries to shoot. At least we got the escort to keep that pressed down. That we're fine. All right, Aven Interrupter. Also on board at this point. This guy is trying to go aggro, so I thought that looked like a good guy to touch in an icky way. Excellent. Here's the card draw I've been looking for. He's down to 8. I get 3 cards out of the deal. Of course, I have 0 mana. He can do whatever he wants to at this point. Yikes. He's down to 1. We just got to counter stuff and we'll be cool as everything. All right, so what do we counter with? These guys here. They cost 2 apiece. All right, now he's going to try to go for the shot, try to take out one of my guys. Hex-proof. And we win! All hail the Hypnotoad. I've been against merrickkaos. Merrickkaos. It's almost like merrickkaos. And Mary Kay is a makeup producer, so I'm making fun of him. Merrick. All right, Singleton out. I have no blue. Maybe if I would have been smarter, I would have put out the Spectral Sailor. All right, he's playing black. You got Swamp. The question is whether he hates my 1/1. If I had a turd in my hand, I would totally shoot it. This guy's totally a turd. That's an interesting way to play. All right, I'm afraid to put out combat research. Let's do it. I think he's not going to want to give me that card. See, at this point, he could kill 2 of my cards for 1. And that's actually in his best benefit. But he doesn't like that card. Nice. Should I just steal it? Nope. I need to keep my guy protected. He's practically the only guy I have. practically. I try to grab the bat. Is that something I even care about? And we win! Touchdown, Lava Bears! Alright, so we are with a Azorius flying deck. And I wish it had a better name. Names are wonderful things when they're clever and fun. But when you have to play every single day, eventually you just start calling them like Deck 472. This deck is it's flying, and that's what I was looking for tonight. When I saw that when Foundations came out, Empyrean Eagle was back. Oh, I remember I used to love flying decks where you just get a bunch of flyers out and pump them. I tried putting together my own deck. It was not good. So I did find this deck, and what did it say? They said that it had a 53% win rate. I ended up getting a 67% win rate out of it. It actually felt decent. There were counter spells. There were choices to be made. There was a bit of tricksiness. Altogether, it was pretty decent. I didn't think it was as... I guess there was plenty of counter spells in there, and that could just be totally egregious. So if I was playing against this deck, I'd probably hate it. But playing it, I had a good time. I had a really good time with it. All right, so let's get down to it. Who was the MVP? Who was the most valuable player? I'm gonna give it to Enduring Curiosity. It turns out that drawing cards is awesome. Who knew? Enduring Curiosity just draws cards like crazy. Plus, if it's not that expensive at 4, if it gets killed, it just comes back as an enchantment. So this one is the one that allows you to draw cards like nuts. We got a good amount of card draw like in here anyway. Between Spectral Sailor, you need to, you can get them out, sure, but you have to pay 4 to be able to use it. Combat Research is your real deal for getting things going. But Enduring Curiosity is just crazy on it. You got 3 birds out, and you're drawing 3 per turn. Yeah, this is the best card out there, I can tell you. So I'm going to give it to Enduring Curiosity. You were my MVP tonight. Congratulations. All right, let's move on. Was this deck competitive? I'm going to say yes. It was. Like I said, I got a 67% win rate. I tried playing a different version of the deck myself, which didn't go so well. Came back to it, at which point this deck seemed that much better to play. I played it both casually and I played it on the ladder. It did great both times. So, yeah, I'm going to say this was a competitive deck. All right, so then was this a fun deck? One thing that was nice is take a look. 1, 2, 3, that curve that goes downward in a slope. That means that this is like an aggro deck, which is really nice. You're throwing out stuff, on curve, which is really good. So turn 1, I was putting out dudes. Turn dudes, I was putting out dudes. Turn 3, usually I was holding back so I can counter stuff. Or I was playing things on Flash. Flash was really good with this deck. The amount of tricks you had to play was a really good balance between creatures and tricksiness. You had a little bit of pump going on there. Yeah, I'd say this had almost like a mono black deck's worth of utility cooked into it. So between removal and card draw, the only thing it didn't have any like bounce. And the only kind of removal you have is like sheltered by ghosts. Otherwise, you had to stay on it, keep your mana available, and use things like Aven Interrupter and your counter spells to keep things from hitting the board. But because this thing was so aggro, you really didn't have to worry about it first. And then if you did it the right time on turn 4, turn 5, usually they shot their wad and you could just do what you needed to do. All right, so was this deck interesting? Yeah, it was. It was totally interesting. For me, it was interesting because I kind of thought of it as being flying tribal. Almost all the creatures in here were flying. What else we got there? Spectral Sailor. This guy put out flying dudes potentially, flying right there. A lot of good card draw. So it was a flying tribal one. We had the ability to pump all your flying guys up. There's some synergy. They got kind of beefy, and we had card draw, counter spells. It was just a tight deck with a good amount of interesting things to do. So yeah, between it being a tribal deck and having a lot of good little tricks to play, this is definitely an interesting deck. All right, so let's add that up. Was this deck competitive? Yes. Was this deck fun? Totes. Was this deck interesting? Absolutely. All right, so that means it is an A+ deck. And as I'm required by federal law to say, this deck is so choice. I highly recommend you pick one up, should you have the means. That's all for now. If you enjoyed this video, please make sure to like and subscribe. From all of us here in the secret underground headquarters of Uncommonly Good MTG, have a great day. In the words of my people, screw you guys, I'm going home. Bye.